Russo'sBrand.com, where the pros are the pros. Castrating the marks.
This was sent in by Guillermo Gutierrez and Greg O'Grady. This is Dave Meltzer and Bryan Alvarez talking about AEW's Hikaru Shida having a singles match on TV the day before the pay-per-view where she has a shot for the title.
Hikaru Shida is facing Deonna Purrazzo the night before she gets a championship match on pay-per-view.
Yes.
Why?
But it's not for the title shot.
I know, but it's just weird.
It's just a match, just to give her a win. I mean, that's happened only a billion times in wrestling. It's not anything to get worked up over.
I don't think Cody is doing a singles match the night before WrestleMania facing Roman Reigns. I'm positive that did not happen.
Okay, but guess what? You could probably count the times that the challenger champion wrestled a match on SmackDown before a pay-per-view, or on a Friday show, or on the Go Home Raw when they didn't have Friday or whatever. It happened all the time. This is not unusual whatsoever.
I want someone to go back and check this one out.
Thank you.
Thank
you, because I'm thinking the same thing. I'm running it through. I'm running Hogan through in my mind. Yeah, don't think it ever happened, bro.
The only time that I can't think of a specific example, but I'm sure there were times where your shot at the pay-per-view is on the line tonight. I feel like there's been storyline reasons, but just a random match, I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, it is nice that Alvarez is asking for, all right, show me where then.
Yeah.
Challenger for the world title the next day, wrestling on SmackDown.
No, on SmackDown on the Friday before the pay-per-view, wrestling in a match.
The day before.
All the time.
A singles match, the challenger for the title.
All the time.
All right. Someone's going to find this. I guarantee it.
All the time. All the time. It happened in WCW before their pay-per-views. All the time. It happened on Mid-South Wrestling.
I'm not talking about
television.
that. I'm talking of late. I want to go back to Mid-South Wrestling.
I'm talking about...
He did say Mid-South, too. Dave did.
Talking about...
I want to see the Mulkeys.
But again here... It's the what about this? What about that?
Yeah.
In context, Alvarez is just saying this doesn't mean why would you do this, right?
Yeah.
Why would you do this?
Yeah.
But and Dave's response is always it's always been that way.
Yeah.
That's always his answer.
Yep.
Late. I want to go back to Mid-South Wrestling.
I'm talking about.
I don't want to see the Mulkeys in 2024.
I'm just talking about the history of wrestling. This is done all the time. I mean, this is not the slightest bit unusual.
I find this very unusual nowadays.
I have no idea why, because the idea of a challenger for a championship...
Bro, do you think, can we stop for a second? Do you think he, off the air, gets pissed at Alvarez and says something? Because Alvarez makes him look like an idiot so many times.
Yeah, I think there's certain times that we've heard where Alvarez is clearly pushing his buttons to get him to go this way. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
I have no idea why, because the idea of a challenger for a championship, winning a match on the last television show before the big championship match is a cornerstone of pro wrestling.
So you're telling me that when they do that Solo Sikoa Cody Rhodes match,
I don't know.
Solo's going to wrestle Friday night.
Wow, he got hot there. He got that. He got a little hot there. You never hear Dave get hot.
Yeah. Well, we did with the she's not a heel.
Cornerstone of pro wrestling.
So you're telling me that when they do that Solo Sikoa Cody Rhodes match,
I don't know.
Solo's going to wrestle Friday night. I don't think
might. So. He might not. I mean, it's not like it happens every single time.
They'll do a contract signing, or they'll do a face-to-face. He ain't having a rando match.
That's WWE this year. If you look at this year wrestling, this is like a cornerstone. You put the challenger over on television right before the pay-per-view or before the big show, before the stadium show, before that. It happens constantly.
Mercedes,
you haven't watched. It's television. That's exactly what you do.
I watched every single SmackDown. The challenger, not one time this year, is the challenger for the title.
God, this sounds like a conversation we'd be having with him. You know that, bro?
Yeah.
SmackDown. The challenger, not one time this year, is the challenger for the title. Wrestled on the Friday before SmackDown.
How does he not know? He watches it. But hold on, Jeff. How does he not know? He watches every show too. How does he not know?
I don't know. He takes notes and everything.
SmackDown. The challenger, not one time this year, is the challenger for the title wrestled on the Friday before SmackDown. Not one time this year.
I have no idea if that's true or not, but it doesn't matter because it's SmackDown in 2024 is not the history of wrestling, and it's not the history of wrestling booking, and it's not necessarily the greatest booking ever. I mean, it's like I'm talking about something that this is a ridiculous.
It is, and my point
waste
is,
of time.
I don't care, but it's like weird. Like this is supposed to be a big match on Saturday.
It's not.
Why
weird.
is she facing Deanna the night before? Deanna's supposed to be like a star.
It's not weird. It happens all that even better. That she's a star, that makes it even better. It's a bigger win. That's exactly what you do. I know when I was growing up, before the frickin' Cow Palace show on the Saturdays TV, the same that aired that afternoon.
That's fine for the 70s.
Okay. It's not just the 70s. You could do it in every decade, constantly. It is a cornerstone of wrestling that you put the challenger over on television in his run to.
Not in his run, the day before.
The day of when you had same day TV, they did it everywhere, all the time. It was a.
Come on, you didn't even pop for that scream.
Go ahead.
He yelled. That was a yell.
I didn't hear. Let me hear.
Not in his run, the day before.
The day of when you had same day TV, they did it everywhere, all the time. It was a regular occurrence because it's this is ridiculous.
The Bucks are backstage.
Yeah, it is ridiculous, bro, because he called him out on it and he's got no proof. Give me an example. And he's throwing back 30, 40 years because Brian's going to remember from 30, 40 years ago.
Dude, in my head, Alvarez knows how great the she's not a heel was.
Yeah.
He's trying to get this. He did it. He snapped the day of.
Yeah. Yeah,
and then Alvarez moves on. Did you notice that he moved on then because he got it? That's how I feel like that's.
Oh
what
my
doing.
God, that is unbelievable, bro.
Look what he's getting so upset over.
I know
the actual topic that he's getting upset over, whether a challenger for a championship would wrestle on TV the show before. He's yelling.
Unreal, bro.
Well, we know about all the violence and stuff that the chair to the head, the bag over the plastic bag over the head,
the blocks, syringes,
yeah, all that stuff it all out. So in this video sent in by Ben, we're going to go to the Scrum and somebody asks Tony Khan about the violence.
Hey Tony, Ricky Chino for Sports Illustrated. Obviously we saw a lot of crazy violent
for a second. Look, bro, remember Kid and Play?
Yeah.
That's who his hair is really starting to look like now. Now it's getting freaking ridiculous, bro. Now it's become a parody of itself.
My grandma used to wear a hairnet.
Yeah.
And that her hair was in this shape when she had the hairnet on.
Yeah.
Like that's what it looks like.
Look at his face.
It's a bad pause.
On the show tonight, I'm just kind of curious, what is your process when going over, weighing the risk with a spot and whether or not just the situation calls for it? Where do you kind of figure out on a day-to-day basis how to draw the line and not cross it and whether or not a spot is worth it?
Okay. Do you got the question, Vince?
He's going to say it's a good question.
Well, of course he is. But do you got the question? Do you understand the question?
Yes.
Where's the line?
Yeah, what's too much? What's too much?
How do you decide? Okay. For violence.
Great question. I think it's something that the company has gotten better and better about. And we have the smartest pro wrestlers, the smartest coaches, and we've only added more great wrestlers. We've seen the roster get better and better, and in the backstage, more coaches, more great people, and a lot of thought went into tonight's show. And you saw, in my opinion, the best professional wrestlers in the world go out there, and you saw so many different things, different kinds of matches, different kinds of rivalries, different kinds of results, and different kinds of emotions. And it was a roller coaster. And I felt like it was a fantastic show tonight. And I felt really great about what we put out there. And I do appreciate where your question's coming from, but I also think it's from having the best wrestlers and the best staff and the best fans in the world. That's how we were able to put out a product tonight, and it takes everybody working together, the wrestlers and the fans and the staff all coming together.
It takes everybody working together, including the fans, to put a plastic bag over somebody's head. That's what he just said.
He hasn't even addressed it. The question.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Do something as special as this. And it was a very, very ambitious effort, to say the least.
He did not answer the question.
But that's where the dude, that's where the Sports Illustrated dude needs to say, bro, you didn't answer the question.
Yeah, unless the person takes the microphone away from them after they ask it.
Yeah, of course he is. What's he going to say, Jeff? What's he going to say? There is no line? What's he going to say?
Why even do these, man? You're not you didn't, all you wanted to do is talk about how great you are. That's it.
Yep.
Answer the guy's question.